The thing I love the most about Fujifilm is how they go about their business. No big fanfare, they just make phenomenal kit and they get it into the hands of their loyal fan base. And make no mistakes, their fan base is loyal and it is growing every single day. So I was super excited yesterday when a package arrived and inside it was Fujifilm's brand new X-T30. Now, the X-T30 is the little brother to the high-end X-T3, and it brings much of its feature set to the consumers at a more reasonable price. If that sounds familiar, it's because the relationship between the X-T20 and the X-T2 was exactly the same. Fujifilm know how to keep people happy, and they do it pretty much every single time they launch a camera. So with this X-T30, you get the same 26 megapixel sensor and processor as the X-T3, a much more advanced AF system, which the X-T3 will soon get via a firmware update in the very near future. Plenty of direct controls, tilting touchscreen, all in a smaller body. I just wish that they would give us a flippy out screen, because at this price point, with the quality of this camera and their lenses, it would be something that the vlogging community could really get excited about. The X-T30 does come at a significantly lower price point than the X-T3, with the body priced at $899 versus $1,499 for the X-T3. Let's run through some of the key specifications, and I'm going to read these out so that I don't get them wrong. So we're looking at a 26.1 megapixel APS-C X-Trans BSI CMOS 4 sensor, X-Processor 4, hybrid AF system, which has 425 phase detect points spread across the entire frame. Burst shooting is at 30 frames a second with no blackout, but with a 1.25 crop. Using the electronic shutter, 25 frames per second without crop. 2.36 million dot OLED viewfinder. And now this is something I love about Fujifilm, and I've loved it right since the early days of the X-T1 and the X-T10. Their EVF is the best in the market. I cannot stress that enough. I love the EVF on the Fujifilms. It also has dedicated drive, shutter speeds, and exposure compensation dials, joystick for AF point selection, Eterna film simulation mode. Now that is something cool. We're going to play with that during the review. DCI and UHD 4K at 30p, capturing full width of sensor. HDMI output, USB-C socket with headphone support, single SD card slot, UHS 1 only. Now, that is a lot of camera for under $900, but that's body only. If you'd like to add a lens, you can get the camera with a 15 to 45 f3.5 to 5.6 power zoom lens for $999, or with the excellent and very cool 18 to 55 2.8 to f4 lens for $1,299. That is a lot of camera and a lot of lens for not too much money. The traditional black and silver models are available now in March. As we speak, you can walk into a shop and you can get one. The charcoal silver model will be coming in around about June. But that's enough talking about specs, etc. Let's take this little beastie out for a spin, shoot some photos and videos, and see what it is actually capable of. I have a feeling it is going to be really good. Just to tell you, I used to shoot Fujifilm, so no bias, but I did. I had an X-T1, I had an X-T10, I had an X-Pro 1. I loved the cameras. So I'm sure I'm going to like this one as well. But yeah, let's go throw some stuff at it and see how it does. talk about the video out of this Fujifilm X-T30. I chose to do the video first because I don't really see it as a be-all and end-all when it comes to video creation. Yes, as you can see, it shoots video. It shoots very nice video. Although a lot of work just went into that sequence you saw. The lack of in-body stabilization is an issue. Every single shot you saw there pretty much had warp stabilizer on it to get those shots nice and steady. The nice thing is that you can do work on the files, so the grading was cool. I could do a lot of work with what I got, but a lot more effort went into getting those images. So if you were looking for a camera to just create video or more video and some stills, I wouldn't suggest the X-T30. I'd suggest the Canon RP over it, or something else, one of the Nikons or the Sonys or whatever. As a tool where you're going to be creating stills and images and you're going to lock that camera off on a tripod and get those kind of shots, aces, 100%. If you're going to stick it onto a gimbal, that's where this little camera will come into its own because it is so small and so light. You can shove it onto a fairly cheap gimbal and run around and shoot some great footage. So it all depends on what you want to do. But because it is so light, I found it really hard to keep it steady. I think the weight of like my 5D4 or the bigger cameras does help when keeping the camera steady. So yeah, if you are after something just to create video, X-T30 is not your thing. For vlogging, you don't have the flippy out screen, and like I say, the shaky footage, you're going to spend a lot of time working to sort that out. Is it bad? No. Is it terrible? No. Is it okay? Yes. If you're looking for something to do more sort of images and some video, this X-T30 may be worth looking at. Speaking of images, let's have a look at some images out of this X-T30. I'm going to drop a couple. I did some rough stuff that I did with some models. I took my daughter out to a park and I just shot some random stuff. Not a huge batch of images, but I'm just going to show you what this camera is capable of doing. All of these images are straight out of camera with a slight auto equalization. That is all. They are JPEG images, not RAW images, because that is the biggest perk out of this camera. Is the images that come out of it, right out of camera, are just phenomenal. This is probably one of the most fun cameras I have worked with in a long time to shoot still images. Let's have a look.
Every breath holds a moment, everyone a chance to take. You can see it if you close your eyes. We already know the way. Forever you and me, running wild and free, chasing down the sun. Oh, we've just begun. It's a winding road.
So as you can see there, great images. I mean, you can zoom in. They are pin sharp. The lenses that are available for the Fujifilm, man, you can go look on other YouTube videos. I'm not going to go through them now, but they are fantastic. Fuji is producing phenomenal glass for these cameras, and that is why their customer base is so loyal, because you've got high-end cameras and low-end cameras which use the same glass, produce phenomenal images. I can't think of a camera that produces JPEG straight out of camera like that. And the biggest thing for me with Fujifilm is how simple that their app works. The app that you get for Fujifilm, when you get that camera out the box, one of the first things it asks you to do is set up your phone with the app. And it works every single time. It's not like some of the other manufacturers where you've got to kind of go into Wi-Fi and then connect the Wi-Fi, then go into the app and then wait for it, and it thinks for a bit, and then you connect, and then you shoot one image and you transfer it over, and then you go and shoot some other stuff and you come back. Now you've got to go back into Wi-Fi, and that Fujifilm, the second you open it, it finds the camera, it says, would you like to connect? You say yes, and bang, your images are there. Well done, Fuji. That is fantastic work. That's the kind of thing. I was working on a commercial shoot the other day. Client wanted images straight away, and I was just shooting images and randomly dropping them on and firing them off. So I used that X-T30 at a professional shoot produced phenomenal work. Client was ecstatically happy with the results. I think this is a fantastic investment. It is a great camera all around. Size-wise, it is fantastic. Price-wise, it is fantastic. Video-wise, it's okay. You can make do if it's not going to be your main thing. Image-wise, what a phenomenal camera. 11 frames a second, 30 frames a second if you're going electronic continuous. Sharp fluid EVF. EVFs are just beautiful. I love the Fuji's EVFs. Give me 1 second. 1 second. More coffee. That's better. Maybe my mouth will actually work now. Anyway, guys, that is it. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure you bang that subscribe button and turn on notifications and all that stuff that us YouTubers ask you to do. If you didn't enjoy it, feel free to drop some comments below and tell me how I can do better. I am always open to some criticism. Trolls, yeah, you guys can just go away. So videos coming up in the very near future. We've got the Nikon Z7. Yeah, I know that's a little bit old, but it took them a while to get the camera to me. So I've got that review coming up very soon. I've got the Canon RF24105 review coming up. I've got the Zhiyun Crane 3 Lab. That review coming up in about the next 2 weeks. Can't wait to play with that. That is one of the most phenomenal toys on the market at the moment. And it's going to hold my 5D4 and all my lenses. Anyway, that's it. I am out of here. I will see you guys in the next video.